It's time to bring my builds to the next level. The concept of the steampunk and related topics came about from a subscriber request asking for something related to steampunk. And that is what started this whole process with the windmill, and then I went into the Red Baron and then the biplane, all kind of tie into each other. It is very loosely tied to each other, but it definitely has some comparison. But I didn't want to stop there. I had an idea in my brain that I wanted to make into Lego, and that's exactly what I set out to do, to make a massive steampunk style airship. Hello, and welcome to the show. Psychiata here with another Next Level Lego, and today I am showing off my concept for a military grade airship from a steampunk universe that never was. I think it was an idea that stemmed from multiple things. I think the thought process of steampunk and researching different pictures for the windmill project kind of got me going on this. The more and more I thought about it, especially with the airship design from the micro military that I did, I really liked the concept of doing a huge steampunk airship. And I've had these pirate ship pieces here at the wooden bottom for quite a while now, unable to really bring anything out with them. And voila, here we go, something that is represented well within this wooden boat hull. There's many details on this one. First of all, I'd like to point out some of the coolness that is just repurposing some pirate characters. The crew themselves is from the pirate sets that came out when I was probably in junior high or high school. They're fairly old. But I wanted to incorporate these different gun turret styles. The turret itself was a concept that came from a train set that was put out for Lone Ranger, the Disney version, and that's something that just kind of went from there with that thought process. But I wanted to incorporate some kind of control function, and I wanted to have some kind of a rear deck that was able to defend the rear part of the vehicle pretty well. This being an airship and driven by propellers, it's not going to be extremely mobile. It's going to be fairly slow in a turning radius and fairly slow in the air just because of how bulky and big it is. We move on to the front section where we also have a couple of turret guns. These are straightforward, but the thing I really like about this shot here is using that lion's head. This was from an architectural Lego set, and I think it was like one of the city builds. And I wanted to give it some kind of a face or a character, you know, and the lion head helps bring that out. It helps give the boat itself an image. Along with that, you see a couple of sets of windows, and those windows are the way that the captain would see out to the front. He's also got a control center there where he can look back and talk to the crew. But we'll see more of that when we get into the ship. The other part that I kind of struggled with was the propeller idea or concept. I went back and forth with the idea of making a balloon style setup. Huge envelope hot air style balloon. But the more and more I thought about it, the more it was not going to happen. One, because of the amount of Legos that I would need to pull it off, and two, because the sheer size and bulkiness of it just wouldn't work well. We also have incorporated into the top of it all of the exhaust and the ducting. The dark gray pieces are kind of supposed to represent where all of the pipes and stuff would be hidden that help make everything work. So we have these passageways that are set up to go to all the propellers. We have a stack pipe coming off of what looks like a boiler, and then we have two exhaust pipes which will be for the double furnaces that are inside of the ship. Taking off the top is fairly easy. I have a lot of smooth pieces set in place to pull it off all in one big lump, and it makes it so it's fairly accessible and pretty easy to play with because of this. Now, we've got a bit of old school feel to here because we also have coming out the side the cannons, but I just wanted something to represent some side guns, some big artillery guns, and the cannons were just the easiest thing to grab as far as really pulling off that idea. I suppose I could have spent a little bit of extra time coming up with the concept to create a specific style gun that would be used in these ports, but the ports I still would have had there regardless. And inside you see that the crew concept continues, where you're still using the exact same uniforms from the pirate sets, and we've got the double furnace in the back that also has the ability to get coal between the two. Along with some functionality, we have ways to open the doors. This is the same furnace concept that I use in the windmill design. We got a hopper system that can be accessible from the outside of the ship and through the center, so it's got a huge capacity for coal. We also went ahead and just gave a good atmosphere on the ground with wood planking, like we did kind of a similar situation in the windmill. And then if we move around to the front of the ship where all the control center is, you can see that I have a couple of people in place that have control centers or stations, along with the captain's area that I talked about. If you take a look really close at those control stations, you'll notice that they are all actual dials and valves. So both of them are set up with 3 dials and 3 different valves to help regulate where the pressures are going for the individual systems and where the steam needs to travel to in order to make things work, make the propellers turn, make the guns fire, etc. Also got some control systems up front here where the captain sits. You can't get away from the technical control altogether. I had to have some way of representing some kind of navigation system, so I just went ahead and went for it. I don't think it's very steampunky per se, but I still liked the outcome of how it looks visually. This kind of culminates everything together. It brings all of these different creations that I've talked about together into one cohesion, one group, and that's why I wanted to bring them all together in a visual for you real quick here, to show you that the windmill, that the Red Baron, that the biplane, and the airship are all still intact and are being used as a playset. My son is currently waiting for me to get done recording so he can go back to playing with them, because I have had him be quiet while I did my audio. I hope you guys enjoy it. I had a fun time doing these projects, and I always look forward to seeing what is going to be requested. And that always is up to you guys, and you help me create. You help inspire me to do new things, new concepts, new ideas. So if you have anything that you would like to see me build in LEGO, please feel free to leave it down below. As usual, don't forget that like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.